Hello, everyone. This is Deb Joyce Meek with Delight of My Art, and today we're on day 2 of 6 of our October Christmas Craft Along for 2025. Welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. And we have our tutorial packet here. This is a 38-page tutorial here. So I've got lots of instructions and diagrams and pictures for those of you that have purchased the full package. Again, all of the descriptions for getting your hands on the tutorial are in the description here. We went over that yesterday, so I'll just go ahead and skip to the projects here, but just know that you can get this for free in different ways. You can buy this or you can earn it for free. So just wanted to go over that as well. I'm going to be following along off camera with my directions too, because we're doing the projects that I designed today. I'm partnering with Beth Maxwell and Sherry Oseki for this craft along. And so each of us have designed 4 different projects, and we'll be doing 2 per day throughout all week this week. So we have 6 days of fun. Hello, Sharon and Vesta. Vesta says she's going through the country with her pieces cut. Are you in the car crafting? That is so wild. All right, let's go ahead and take my face away. We're gonna get down to the desktop here. Again, the stamp sets that we're featuring this time are the Pine Tree Trimmings and the Stay Warm stamp set. Both of my projects are actually using this one today, and we're going to be using some words here and there from traditional labels. So again, we're using that same Sending Love and Joy with that double banner. I love this one. So this one has those really nice label dies in here. So we're going to be using that one again, but just wanted to let you know, here is the card that we're going to be doing for today. This is project number, the first project for today, project number 3 of our whole craft along. And then we also have another one later after this one. So this is a gift card holder over here. And then we have another little card area over here. Hello, Patricia. We have Stacy and lots of other people popping in. So Patricia, I hope that you got your package okay and loved that your gifts in there. So I'm going to do 2 different ways to do the sweater today. So I'm going to show you how I did this one, and then we're going to do it a different way on camera, and you'll have to let me know which one you like the best. So let's go ahead and put this together. I'm going to put this in the corner for inspiration here, and I'm going to pull out my pieces. I'm actually using the same paper for this one. We're just doing the sweater a different way. So I just kind of did my pre-cutting so you don't have to watch me do all of that. We'll try to make this one a little bit faster than an hour. Yesterday's was a little bit long, but these are the papers that we're going to be using. I have this nice swaggy paper, and we use both sides of this one for here. So we have this piece here, and then we have this piece over here as well. And then we also have a few little die cuts from the paper. This paper pack, which is the Christmas Tags and More Mix and Match Specialty Designer Series paper, which is a mouthful. It's a 6x6 pack, but it also has a bunch of the pages. So if you get a full pack, it's like, is it 6 or 8? I might think it's 8 of each sheet, and then you also get a bunch of die cut sheets. So these are from there, and then we used a couple different ones from this one as well. So we'll just play along with all the pieces here. I'm going to let you know all of the dimensions and everything, but if you want the PDF, you can go ahead and follow the directions in the description here for that. So I'm going to take out my card base. This is Garden Green. It's 11 by 4 1/4. We're just going to score that in half at 5 1/2. Get out my trimmer. Hello, Julie. 5 1/2. Actually, this is a little bit shorter than that. I should probably follow my directions. And I'm the one that put this together, so that's kind of funny. Let's see. This one is 10 1/2 by 4 1/4. So it's just a tiny smidge shorter because we're doing this fold in here, and it looks a little bit better to give it just a little bit more room for the gift card to slide in. So 1/2 inch short. So if this is 11 inches long, you're just going to trim off 1/2 inch. And I think I did that already. I did. It's 10 1/2. All right, 10 1/2 by 4 1/4. We are going to score it at 5 1/2 though, because it's going to be the same size as a regular card. It's just going to have that shorter side there. And then we're going to score again right here at, let's see, I'm going to score it from this side, 2 and 5. So this 5 is going to be 5 1/2 from this side, 2 and 5. Let's follow the directions, Deb, that you created. All right, so we're gonna do 2 and 5, and that's how that's gonna go. So there we go. Let's go ahead and do some more trimming while we have the trimmer out. So let's do this piece here. I'm going to cut my wreath piece here, and we're going to do this. Let's see, we want 4.5 wide by 2 3/4 tall. 4.5 wide. So that gives us this fun strip to use at a different time. And then we want this to be 2 3/4 inches tall. So I think that I might need to use 2 of these. We're just going to trim off this piece and use this here. We're going to see how this goes. I might have used 2 sheets, but I don't think I should have done that if I did. 2 3/4. Let's go here. Yeah, this should work. Look at that. It's perfect. Okay, so this piece is going to be 2 3/4 by 4. We just have to trim this one down a little bit, and we're going to trim this one down a little bit as well. So this piece is going to be 4.5 by 2 3/4. This one's going to be 4 by 2 3/4. All right, so this one's going to be a little bit shorter at 4. That's going to go on the front. Right there. This one's going to be 2 3/4 by 4.5. And that's how I got all my pieces for this one. So we have a few pieces that we didn't need. We didn't need this strip. We didn't need that other little strip. And you can use this piece on another card. Okay. Now we also need this piece, which has remember yesterday, I think we trimmed this off to put that bottom piece on our stand-up box card. So we have this piece on the back, and this is actually going in a different direction than the one. There's little triangles or diamonds, but it doesn't really matter which way they go. But we want this piece to be 6 inches by 4 inches. Let's double check here. Yes, by 4 inches. So we're just going to make sure that this is 4. I think it was a little bit bigger than we needed from yesterday. So 6 by 4. And what you're actually going to do is just cut 3/4 of an inch off of one end, because that's going to be right here. This is going to showcase and show off that we have a pocket here. And then you're going to have a piece left here that is 5 1/4, perfectly for the background. But we're going to use that extra piece to just kind of highlight this little section. And you wouldn't even know that that paper doesn't continue throughout that whole pocket. Nobody's going to peek in that far. So that's why we have this extra little piece here. Giuseppe, welcome. Yes, day 2 of 6. That's right. So here is all of our pieces, and I'm going to take out my pieces from my die cut bag. So if you got the package, again, you can pull out your pieces here. Again, we have this banner piece, and I wanted to point this out again. There are 2 different corners to this, and there's lines. There's 5 lines over here and 4 lines over here. This one has to go on the left. Otherwise, these look funny when you stamp that particular stamp, because the bending of the words don't match in quite as well. So that's just one little point there, little tip. And then we want this circle as well. This is from Stylish Shapes in sea foam, soft sea foam. And I think we do want to do just fold our red piece in half as well. So let's do all of our cutting and scoring and stuff, and then we can start putting things together. This piece is 9.5 by 3, and we're just going to score it in half at 4 3/4. A tiny little card on the inside of our card. If you are a mystery stamping fan, you might remember this fold from, I don't know, a year ago or so. But again, we didn't have these products, so you've never seen it with the sweater here and these papers. Okay, so now we have a little mini card. We have our background sheet and we have all of our other DSP pieces here. This piece is a white piece that's going to go inside of this little card area. And this piece is going to be 4.5 by 2 3/4, which is the same as the DSP that goes on the front of it, right? So those two pieces. And then we also have a scrap of white which we're going to do the sweater on. So we're going to do a different version again of the sweater than we did on this one. So I'll point that out once we put everything together. So let's go ahead and just put this together real quick. I do have a punch handy. So I just have a circle punch. See your pocket, you just want to have a little notch in there. So fold that back out and just put a little notch in. If you had designer series paper on here, you probably want to attach that first, but we're just going to decorate this with one of those little pieces from the paper. And so we don't need to worry about making sure anything's glued in before we do that little notch. Okay, so let me put these off to the side and clear our workspace off, and we can start putting things together in a nice way with a clear desk according to your view. So we're going to burnish our card base here. Give that a nice press. It always looks so much better with the blown folder after that, right? Okay, so let's get out our glue and start doing some gluing. So we have our piece here. We're just going to put that on the inside. That's nice and easy. Hello, Tina. It seems a shame to cover up these really cute ornaments, but since this paper pack comes with so many of each page, you don't feel as bad covering up fun patterns. All right, here we go. And then on the front, we want that little piece of the greenery piece. I hope everybody's having a great day today. Today I have plans to host our small group, and so I'm going to be making white chicken chili, and I just got a recipe from a friend that I'm excited to try because they did it for a chili cook-off and it was my favorite. It was my #1 vote. So I can't wait to try it and hopefully I don't mess it up. All right, so we're going to take this card piece and we're just going to glue it on the inside. I am going to butt the fold up against the DSP here, so it will not have a border on the left-hand side, because that way the border is perfectly even all the way around on the other side. And when you close this, it still has that nice even border. So that's where this one is going to go. So making sure my fold's on the left side, on the correct side, I should say, not the right side. The right side, that is the left side. So on the fold up to the DSP, now we have that beautiful even border like so. And we have this piece that was connecting. And so if you were using a different pattern here, you might want to keep this so that it was, lined up with this. I guess it doesn't really matter with this one at all. So we do want to put this in so where it kind of sticks out just a smidge. And when you're doing your circle, you don't want to do it too deep. So I probably should have pointed that out before I did the punch, but I don't usually do too deep of a circle punch. But if you did half of a circle, this might not be long enough. And you could just slip a piece of white paper in if that were the case, just to showcase off this pocket. But we're just going to glue this here. I'm going to kind of hold it there so that I know where it goes, and just kind of do this real quick. And that way it's not going to move on me. Yesterday you saw this was almost done, so it is almost done. All right, so there we go. So now we can probably close up this pocket too. We're just going to put glue here and here, just a thin little layer, so that we can slip in a gift card as needed. Again, if you're using liquid glue, you can make a nice thin line, but again, use the slightest, tiniest hand. So it's not up against the edge, it's a little bit further away from the edge. This is a little bit of a bigger glue blob. I'm a little bit worried that that might goop out, but you know what, we're just gonna let that settle into the paper there and hopefully not goo everywhere. And our Tombow liquid glue is really strong, but does have that little bit of wiggle time to let you get everything straight. There we go. So nice so far. Super quick too. All right, so we have this beautiful DSP that we already measured that just goes right on the front there. I love paper that does all the work. It's all decorated already for us, and I just added some of our traditional sequins, traditional sparkling sequins to decorate that greenery. You can see over here that I did it in green. You could do it in red too. There's all red berries in here, so either one of those is going to look really cute. This is kind of sticking up again, so I'm going to come in from the back and maybe give that fold another burnish right there on the back. Sometimes this makes a little mark on the card, so that's why I'm using it on the back. That's a little bit better, right? Okay, so now we can start decorating our little pieces here. So we have these little guys. We've got our stamping that we want to do. And again, I've got my banner here with that sending love and joy in the red. And again, if you are wondering which side is which, you can hover your stamp over top. And if those words don't bend quite the right way, because these are already, pre-bent to match this die, if you can see, can you see this way? That doesn't line up. You see the L is way too close to the middle, and so is the end of the Y. Anyway, so it goes this way with more lines on this little corner than this corner. Has anybody run into this issue yet? I definitely stamped it once and I was like, why isn't this lining up? But it does. It perfectly lines up if you orient this right. They should have done it so that it was right the both ways, but it is what it is. Oh yeah, Julie says, don't forget to do a thumbs up for Deb. Oh, thank you. Yeah, give me a thumbs up on here. All right, so we have, we need our inside piece too. We can just glue that in real quick. This little white piece. We'll be sharing this on Facebook later too, but we are just on YouTube right now. If I did want to do any stamping on this, I would add that before gluing, but we're just going to embellish this with some little twigs and stuff. So I think that will be the easiest. So we don't need to worry about the order that we do anything in. I'm going to put a little sprig over here, decorate our pocket. And I am still on camera. That's good. And then over here, I put that over there. So let's go ahead and add this one. That would be cute right there, right? It's a little big. Maybe I want something smaller. Let's see what we've got. There's so many pieces. They're just kind of falling out of here too. Let's see. We've got that one that we used already. This is the bow that I used on this one. They overprint, so that's why it looks so much bigger. We could do an ornament. That would be cute. Right, like that. Or a stocking. What else we got on the other sheet? Throwing things. Everything else is kind of bigger too. Let's just do this ornament. I think that looks cute. Quick decisions on live videos. No wasting time. Helps me to craft a lot faster. Lots of times when I'm crafting by myself, I kind of second guess and I overthink things, and you just have to do it, right? Okay. So here is what we're gonna do right now. We're gonna do some heat embossing again with the sweater. And we did that yesterday too, but this one's going to be quick. The next project also does heat embossing, but I already did it on that one. So we're just going to do it on this sweater. I tried to do a little bit in ahead of time here. We've got this cute little sweater. Again, we're embossing in white, but on this one, I colored on top of the image with my Stampin' Blends. And because we don't have a stamping blend in Garden Green, I used Shaded Spruce, which is another color, I think, in the other paper pack that we were using with the Elegant Pine Snowflakes Designer Series paper. but we don't have it in this one. So that's why this green looks a little bit different. It does add another fun color to that, but we're going to use Stampin' Write markers for this one. So I wanted to look at both of those, and I know we're discontinuing our Stampin' Write markers, and I just checked. They are still in the online store, and they're on sale on the last chance list. So if you don't have all of those and wanted those, I'll show you what you can do with them today, and then you can get them at a discount. Although don't place an order today. Did you see that we have free shipping tomorrow look at all these colored pieces of paper in here or something. Gotta clean off my embossing powder. I don't know how to get little paper crumbs out of there, but I don't think they'll stick. Okay, so we have this. So again, we have a free shipping special from Stampin' Up. They just started that. So I was like, oh, that's perfect timing for my craft along. I said you could get the tutorial for free with a $50 order. Well, if you want to get a free shipping, it's $75, and then you can get both. That's cool. All right, so I'm gonna heat emboss this. You can't even see it. It's white on white with paper crumbs on there that are in color. So we're just gonna heat emboss this real quick. And again, some people could hear this on the video yesterday and some people couldn't. So in the comments, let me know if you can hear it today. I thought that was so funny. And it must be on the viewer end, whether whatever you're viewing on masks out that sound or not. But it is, it's like using a hair dryer. It's kind of loud. But for some people, it's completely quiet. Some people can hear a little high-pitched noise. And that's really hard to see if it's done with it being white on white, but I think I did it. Let's just double check here. It looks like I might need to heat it a little bit more because it's not all shiny everywhere. Gotta make sure that it's done. Yeah, okay. I just needed to go a little bit further. A little bit hard to see. We don't want to be knocking all of our cute embossing off. Okay, we should be able to see all of the shininess. I don't know if that's showing. Oh, there you go. See all the shiny? If it's shiny, it is heated and good. Shiny is what we want. Okay, so on this one, I'll just show you what I did with the Stampin' Write blends, or Stampin' Write markers. I just combined those two words. Okay, so this one, we're going to do the same exact coloring that I did on this one, only with different markers. Hopefully my head's not in the frame here. So I did red on the bottom. So I'm just going to follow those little zigzags. You can't really see what I'm doing. I can't hardly see what I'm doing. I'm just going to go up to those lines. Now the Stampin' Write markers will resist against the embossed lines. So you can get a little messier with this one. The Stampin' blends actually stained the top of the embossed white part, which actually adds a softness that I didn't expect. So we are gonna scribble. Okay, watch this. Oh, isn't that cool? Isn't that magical? So we're gonna just keep going here. And if you wanted to do it all the same color, you would just kind of scribble over the whole thing. That would make it super easy. But I wanted to be complicated and make it a two-tone. So we're just gonna keep going like this. You can see I did emboss everything. That's good. So I'm going a little bit outside of the lines because I'm going to be fussy cutting that and giving it a little bit of a border. Isn't that cool? So now we're going to take our garden green, and this one should match a little bit better. And we're going to come in and kind of get the top of those, middle of those diamonds. This is where the colors are close to each other. So I'm going to be a little bit carefuler. Is that a word? More careful. Between those. Ooh, I probably went over too far there. Let's see. Do I need a little bit more red here? Oops, we're gonna have a little brown sweater right there. This one should be green. Okay. And then just green the rest of the way up. That's so cool. It's like magic. Color reveal. Maybe you could make some embossing for your kids to color and be like, it's magic color, and then just scribble on it and it comes right off. Okay, so now I'm going to take a tissue and just rub it. And this should remove anything that's left on top of the embossing. This one has the design kind of show up a little bit brighter because the embossing resists that the color from staining the embossing. But the blends, since they're like Sharpie markers, they're alcohol markers, they do color things that normally might not take color, which is also another technique that you'd like to use. So here is the difference. And you can see that this one actually looks fuzzier like a sweater, and this one has more of a bold pattern. So when we're done, I do want you to vote on your favorite one. They are completely different and unique from each other. So I thought that was going to be a fun difference for you to see. So we're just going to fussy cut this one. Definitely have their own unique special abilities, and why I like to have both. I'm a little bit sad that we're getting rid of the Stampin' Write markers, but I don't use them terribly often, but I do like using them for this technique, the embossing resist. I do use my blends a lot more because they do color nicer if you're coloring things in. Desta likes the bold. All right, I'm going to cut up my sleeves again. We did this with the yesterday's project too, just to give that sleeve a little definition. You don't have to do that extra part. Except that we're tucking the words again, just like we did yesterday. That's funny. We both did that. All right, so here's our bold sweater. And again, we can put this underneath here. Tuck that into, snip up the sleeves. We don't even have to cut away. We can just cut up so that there's some room there. I'm going to add some, what am I going to add? I'm going to add some seal to the sleeves so that we can add our little banner here. So cute. That's so darling. I'm going to put this one up just a smidge, am I? Yes, I think. Oh, I might have wet hands. Careful crafting with damp hands because you will smear your stamped images. I don't think I have wet hands, but maybe. Maybe I'm sweating. Am I getting nervous stamping for all of you? I don't think so. So here's a little bow. There's two little bows that were in the thing. So I thought this one would be good on here. It's not as contrasty, but it does match. So let's just add that with a glue dot. And I got ink all over my fingers, but this one's actually printer ink. I found the printer ink refill and I just touched it for the quickest second and then like slapped my thighs. I got ink all over my pants this morning. I was like, where did this come from? Of all the things, I'm already getting ink all over myself in my craft room. Why not by the computer too? All right, so here we're just going to add this to our circle with some dimensionals. It's a little curly because we were embossing that, but as we put it onto the paper, we can flatten it out with some adhesives. So I'm going to add a little bit more adhesive than I normally would, just because we embossed this piece and it's a little bit wrinkly. And I'm not going to go down too far because some of this is going to be off of the circle, right? So I can put one more over here. I know this is a lot. That's okay. You don't need this many. I just got excited. This is for you guys. All right, so, oh, cute. So that's the bold one, and then here's our fuzzier looking one. And we can put this one, I think I used dimensionals. I'll just double check. I did. So we are going to just add some dimensionals. Watch this. Somebody else told me this trick. See, let's center this on here. Watch this. If you put your thing where you want, and you know you can only add glue to one side of it, add a sticky note right up against where you don't want to add glue. And now you know everywhere else is safe to add glue. Look at that. So I can add dimensionals anywhere right there. I thought that was so clever. Okay, so we can add some dimensionals. There they are. Julie loves the bold too. I'm kind of partial to the fuzzy one actually, but I do like the bold as well. All right, so now we can put these on the front. Up against the, let's take this thing off. Centered, I think. So there is what we've got, and I already did this. So I didn't need this piece. I'll just put that with the other die cuts here. We do want to decorate with our sequins here. I did a little bit of gold on the front of the other one. Let's do that same thing. We'll just add a little bit of gold splashes. And then we want to do some green on here. I'm going to use the big ones because I don't use the big ones very often. So let's just use those up. We're just going to go back and forth here. And then we can go on to project number 2. So there we go. We have our 2 cards. Let me know which coloring you like the best in the comments there. That always helps with people being able to see these videos pop up too. So we have some votes for the bold. Tony likes the bold too. And Vesta and Julie also said they like the bold. All right. Okay, so here, let's go ahead and move on. And you can let me know in the comments there what you like the best. We'll bring that back up again later. Here is our second project for the day. This one is a little pinch box, and you can fit one of those mini lotions inside. This will be a great little gift for Christmas, and we just decorated it with some cute little mittens, and they're double-sided. But they were so cute. So I did the embossing on those already. You'll just need 2 of each of the mittens so that you can kind of make those similar. And I love that they have the string on there. Do you remember when you were kids and they had that string up your back and up down your arms for the mittens not to get lost? This just reminded me of that. So we're just going to go ahead and put that together, but I have a different pattern to use. So we have the Elegant Pine Snowflakes designer series paper for this one. And on this one, I used, this green snowflake pattern. But this one, we're going to use kind of a bolder pattern. And the other side has old olive color. So that's why I used old olive for the mittens. So again, you're going to have to tell me which color scheme you like best for this one. And the mitten's so cute, I know. And that when I was doing the hearts, I had done, since I did one for this one, I just stamped 6 of them at once. So I stamped this one the same time I did this one and just stuck it in my stamp case. That way I always have some cute little knitted hearts for whatever we want. All right, so let's go ahead and turn to my page. So I still have to follow my own directions too, because I made this weeks ago and I don't remember exactly how I did it. All right, so the snowflakes, or the DSP is 4.5 by 6.5. So it's 6.5 tall, 4.5 wide if you have a pattern that has a direction. We are folding over the top, so if your pattern is a directional, if on both sides, then the top little piece will be upside down, but that's not too much of a deal, right? All right, so we are going to score according to the diagram, and I did a diagram for this one. I'm so glad that I did. Okay, so we're going to do just like my diagram says. We're going to put the top over here at 1/2 inch, half an inch. And this is where it's going to fold over like so. And then we want to score at the bottom side. So this is the top, this is the bottom. We're going to score the bottom at 1 inch. And I could have done both of those off the other side, but that's okay. 1 inch, 1 inch like that. And then, so we have 1/2 inch at the top, 1 inch at the bottom. We're going to put this back in at the top here, and we're going to go 1/2 inch and then 2.5. So 1/2 inch and 2.5. And then at the bottom here, we're going to cut up to that first line here. We're going to take our cutting blade and we're just going to stick it back in there at that same 2.5 inch mark we just did. We're going to take that and we're just going to cut that 1 inch area. So we have that 1 inch band down there. We're going to do the same thing at 1.5 and 3.5. So we're just going to stick this in at 1.5, cut up only to that 1 inch line. And you could do that with scissors too if you wanted to just score it and then cut it. But I figured we're in the trimmer already. We'll just cut it. So it's cut up at 1/2 inch, 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, all the halves. So we did 3.5. This is 2.5, 1.5, and I didn't cut the half, but we can do that now. We'll just cut that half. All of those little halfies up to that 1 inch square line. So now we have all these little flaps at the bottom. We can cut the littlest one completely off and even cut it off at an angle. This 1/2 inch strip on the left here is just a nice little tab. So we can just cut that off. Not necessary to take off this upper corner, I don't think. We can keep that there. Okay. I hope I remember how to do this. This one was giving me a few fits when I was making it. I went through a number of renovations there, so I think it should be fine. So the bottom is going to turn into a square, but the top is flat, and so it gives that kind of rounded look. That's why we didn't score these two spots. Let's go ahead and fold over this piece first. Oh, does that a good night? Yes, go to bed. We can watch the replay tomorrow. She's watching at another time zone and it is late. Okay, so we're gonna just attach this here. And I gooped it just a little bit. Oops. Let's just get all gluey. That's fun. All right, so this is what it looks like on my diagram here. We just folded that over. We have that 1/2 inch tab here, and then it has this fold kind of in the middle. These two panels are the same width, and then they're all cut on the bottom to make a square. Okay, so we're gonna fold this, and I might make sure that this doesn't overlap. I don't want the edge here to show, so I'm going to kind of scoot that and maybe re-burnish just a smidge so that that's a little bit nicer over there. We'll see if that works. There. All right, so let's go ahead and fold that shut. Let's see, should I use liquid glue? We can use liquid glue, it's fine. All right, so we have that one. I'm going to allow that to dry because I don't want to put stress on this yet as I'm making this bottom piece into our square. I want this to dry, and it only takes like 10 seconds, so not too long. Oh, I think these are going to look good on there, right? Oh, it's going to be cute. All right, so we can pick which side is our front, and I have the flap here. It looks like I've got my little edge on here. Since it pinches open like this, and you see this in the background, I'm going to have that little tab actually be on the front. like this. So that means that I want these. It doesn't really matter which one goes last, does it? We're gonna have this one go last. We're just gonna make the bottom into a square. Nice and easy. So you could recreate this little bag, this little pinch box, whatever size that you want, really. It just is a little stand-up one, and then you can pinch it open, and it kind of closes itself. It stays a little bit open. You could always put a little clip up there or tie it closed with ribbon, but it really does do a pretty good job of holding itself shut. Isn't that so cute? So a little dollar store lotion would fit in there. I got these off of Amazon. They came in a ton of different I just want to say flavors, but it's not flavors, you know what I mean? Different scents and different pictures on the front. Just thought they were super cute. Great stocking stuffers. All right, so let's go ahead and bring in our twine here, our red and white baker's twine. And we do need the scissors. And I want this and dimensionals, yes. All right, so on the back here, I'm going to add a little bit of seal because we're going to make our mittens come off of the back here. And you can make this longer than you need and always trim it. You can even have it be 2 lines if you wanted to. I want those to come out kind of the same area at the bottom of the heart there. So that I can add that with, let's add it with 2 dimensionals. Give it some extra support near the top there. Cute. And you can always add a banner or some words on this one. I just thought it looked cute with the little mittens on there. All right, so how long do we want this to be? Kind of like in the middle here. We want to have room for it to be on a mitten. Let's just add some adhesive to a mitten and see how long we want it to be. That's probably the best way. Experimenting. I think I want it to be about here. So that means I'll just stick it on there and we'll just trim off whatever sticks out. I'm gonna bend it back a little bit so it's not near the top. And then we just find a matching one to match up with it. So I just fussy cut these. I'm gonna add adhesive to this one too, just to give it some extra adhesion. And I should be using my, my, what's it called, Matt? Yeah, that thing. You guys know what I mean, right? The little rubber thing. So you can do, oh, where is it? Oh, there it is. Aha, see this little mat thing. So you can get glue on it and it doesn't get anything sticky. It just comes right off, which is really nice. Okay, let's use it for this one. So I'm just gonna add some glue here. Anything that gets on here, you can just roll it right off. What is this thing called? I forget. Somebody help me in the comments. It's gonna be like so obvious. It's the thingy. It's the mat thingy. I don't use it as nearly as much as I should, but it does come in handy. Okay, I'm gonna put this about here. I want these to be a little bit off from each other, so one's a tiny bit longer than the other one. Oh, my dog's running. What did you need, dog? All right, and then get the end here. Have you guys ever made these pinch to close gift boxes before? These would be great for bigger lotions as well. Okay, so if you do 2 of each, then you find one that matches up with that other one. The one that you have left is going to be the one that matches the one you need. And if you have any trimming that you still need to do, it looks pretty good actually. I'm just going to pinch those little mittens on. Oh my gosh, they're so cute. Oh, they're so cute. And they just wiggle around. Okay. Ah, so cute. All right, now we need to decorate this one as well. We'll get rid of our scraps, put this stuff away, get all of our samples back in here, and we want to decorate with our sequins again. I think I'm going to do green on this one. Let's just do a little bit. Ooh, maybe we should do red. Let's do some red. Oop. Vesta, you've made them. That's awesome. Let's just add another. We're just kind of sprinkling. All right, so we have our cute little gift boxes here. That was option 2. And here was the first ones that we made. So thank you so much again for tuning in for day number 2 of 6 of our October Christmas craft along. I appreciate all of you. And again, if you would like to get this tutorial, I think the best option would be for you to join my team. I would absolutely love it. Otherwise, you can place an order, get that for free, or you can just order the tutorial, or there's lots of different options. You can get the whole package too. I'll ship you out all of the card stock and the papers and the gems and all of the things, and that is still available through Saturday. We also have another craft along coming up, a Christmas craft along next month. So that one is just beginning, and you can get all of the details on that one in the description as well. Just go ahead and click on the Santa's Workshop craft along information link. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. All right, bye guys.